We should just start in the beginning every week saying, this is what we hate about this is our segment of The Last Jedi. Stormy Daniels. I read this today. It's almost funny.
She's pissed about Star Wars.
She is.
Like, I don't like the dude's movies or whatever.
They're just not your cup of tea.
They're not my cup of tea.
He has a clientele, and he goes right for that clientele.
I don't like sushi.
What's wrong with that?
I don't eat it, right?
We have a 13-episode callback. Well done, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Stick around, 'cause I am coming back. And I know someday I'm gonna make it better.
Talk about shit we talk about anyway. Just sit here.
Seriously.
That's the plan. That's the dream. But anyway, all right, let's get to the show. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Nick, John, and Jamie Show. I am John.
Nick.
And I am Jamie.
So, unlike last week, where there was not much going on, a lot of it was we called it a lull in the comic sci-fi geekosphere. This week, it was the opposite. It was a smorgasbord of things to watch. We were pretty ambitious when we were talking about it, right? I mean, what do we have on the slate? We had, well, we already talked about Krypton, right? But we also were looking at Lost in Space, The Expanse. Nick, you introduced us to Counterpart, and I think Nick, you came further along as far as watching and catching up than
I had a lot more free time on my hands than you fellas. I know that.
Yeah, you kicked ass on that.
So,
well, Counterpart, I kind of was already done by the time I talked to you guys. Yeah. So
I think that is definitely going to be the topics that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about those shows for sure because we're excited about them, and I think for the most part we're enjoying them. But I think we'll take a step back real quick and just talk about what's in the news. Obviously, box office. We like talking about box office, and last week it was kind of slow, and then but this week.
But wasn't that movie A Quiet Place or?
Well, Quiet Place killed, man, for like a really kind of this sleeper hit. It did wind up second in the box office, but as far as the weekend, so it's
everybody I heard about wants to see it. Like there was like articles about how people were getting annoyed, people were eating popcorn. That's how ridiculously quiet they want the theater to be because there's not that many lines in the movie, but it just the way it envelops very well throughout the story, supposedly. Yeah. I don't know. I know my wife, Shan, really, really wants to go see it.
Yeah, Cindy wants to see it, too.
So maybe they should get together and go together. I don't know.
Shit, I want to see it.
I do, too. I was like kind of bummed that she's like, I want to take Aiden. I'm like, oh, I got to stay home. But, the director and the actor,
John Krasinski.
Yeah, Emily Blunt's husband. I mean, he's just. I didn't know he was going to be this good as a director. Everybody's saying he's done a fantastic job with visuals and how they shot the movie was really up to par.
Yeah, and it was proposed to him. I saw an interview on him because they did a real big push for this movie, especially when it started to really catch steam. The marketing arm just went full tilt, and he was talking about how he wasn't a genre guy. He wasn't into horror flicks, and he was kind of, like I think he said I'm like a fraidy cat when it comes to horror flicks. But he also talked about him being a new parent and being a parent, using his kids. What would you do to protect your kids in extreme situations? And he did a hell of a job marketing the film, and then the film just started to speak for itself. $100 million so far.
They're talking Oscar nod for
really for a horror film. Well,
it sounds like a legitimate one too, where people actually do give a shit about it.
Yeah,
like it's not like some thing that's like a Hollywood ego stroke.
No,
totally. It's like a legitimate. It's got a good story that people actually care about, not some piece of shit that's like, yeah, man, this is great. Like, let's all stroke our egos. Over
Yeah.
here.
Exactly. I don't think it even costs that much money to make. I mean,
it's all cash right now. They're just making money.
well, I'm sure his wife took a huge discount to do the movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure Emily Blunt wasn't sitting there saying, well, I want my $15 million per movie like I usually get.
Imagine if that was his motivation.
He just had to do extra chores around the house.
Yeah, you broke my agent's back. No, but Rampage topped the box office this weekend, and with a respectable $35 million.
That's going to fall.
Yeah. I mean, and The Rock's been Dwayne Johnson's been full force, pimping this film, and the guy is so goddamn likable. Like you just can't help but like, hey, you know what? And he cops to it. He's like, it's popcorn film.
Yeah, the Negan was the guy. He's in Rampage too, or whatever. I don't know, what's his name?
Jeffrey
Dean Morgan.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That's it.
It's a cool name, by the way.
He was on Stern,
It's the
and that's exactly what he said. He said it's a popcorn movie. Go there. You know what I mean?
Could you get Negan out of your brain though?
No.
Well, you're not caught up on Walking Dead, and I'm going to mention that every episode, Jamie. Every episode.
We were talking about it actually this weekend. I was talking about my buddy.
Yeah.
Does he watch it?
Yeah, he watches it, but he knows I'm into I know the comic book side of it. So
Yeah,
it's
the comic book's amazing.
The comic book is probably, from what I heard, people that read it. I've never read it. Some people get offended by the show because it veers
I'm not
from
like that.
It veers from the
Ridiculous.
comic book.
Yeah.
But if you read all the comic books, then you definitely still.
I didn't read all of them. I only read a couple of them, but anything that came from the same genre as Spawn, I'm down.
Yeah.
It's you're talking about Image?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Image just put out
Spawn's
some good
kick
books.
ass.
Well, have you heard anything as far as the movie? I mean, I know Todd
That
McFarlane.
keeps I keep hearing like little things about it that it's going to come out. I heard it was 2019 or something like that,
Okay.
and then I haven't heard anything since though.
Well, Todd McFarlane. I heard an interview with him, and he wants to do. He doesn't want to be beholden to the budget gods of having to go and work for the man as far as the big Hollywood movie companies, and so he wants it to be low budget, and he likened it to Kevin Smith. Like Kevin Smith, if he makes a $5 million movie, it's okay, nobody cares, right? It's easy to get that. It's easy to get it done, and nobody sweats it because you're not bankrolling $200 million on a potential flop.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about Harvey Weinstein jacking into a potted plant, dude. You know what I mean?
I don't think anybody has to worry about that anymore.
Not anymore, man.
Dude, he's going to go to jail, for real.
I don't know,
as he
man. I don't know if he'll go to jail. I think he'll get out of it somehow.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling because if you actually read a lot of it, he used these women with his power to get them to do stuff, but they never said no, and he didn't force himself on them.
Yeah, well,
there was a couple instances where he did. And
really?
That one story, I can't get that out of my head. I'm just trying to picture the scenario of him jacking into a potted plant.
I thought that.
Did he really do that? I thought you were
That's right.
joking.
No, that's not a joke, dude. That's legitimate.
In front of a girl.
Yeah, he jacked into a potted plant.
Yikes.
Didn't Elijah Douche say he fucked her career up too, or something like that?
I don't know.
No, she was all pissed off.
It was Rose McGowan who was really outspoken about it.
Yeah, and then who else? Kill Bill. What the hell was her name? Kill Bill star.
Oh,
Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman
yeah.
said there was issues there too. There's a bunch
I
of
don't know,
stuff.
man. I mean,
I don't know, man. There's some serious issues going on upstairs if you're jacking into a potted plant. That's all I got to
in
say.
front of somebody. It's like, what the?
It's all a power thing, right? It's like when they talk about.
Plus, he's not the best looking dude ever.
But it's
you know what I mean?
power.
He's walking around naked, he's Brad Pitt.
Someone described him as a shorn ball sack or something like that.
Yeah,
He's an ugly fucking dude. I'm not the most handsome guy in the world, but he's an ugly fucking dude.
Yeah, he's pretty bad, dude.
None of us.
He's
models,
banged
dude.
up.
So Rampage led the box office this weekend. A Quiet Place #2. Here's the thing: Truth or Dare, another horror movie. That'll be a flash in the pan, no doubt. Blockers is still hanging in there. Number 6 in the box office.
Don't say it.
Black Panther.
Again, I knew you were going to say it. I knew you were going there.
Yeah. Isle of Dogs.
How much?
Where's Ready Player One?
Ready Player One toppled this. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. Ready Player One was number 4.
Okay.
Black Panther's number 6 at... Their total is $674 million. They did $5 million in the weekend over the weekend.
Shit, that'll still be in when Avengers comes out.
will it?
Who knows if it's still making money? They were talking about The Greatest Showman, just kept sort of picking away, making just enough money to get into the theater, to keep it alive, and
Still haven't seen that.
Yeah,
It's on demand now. I was looking at it today, and I'm like,
So The Greatest Showman, $173 million at the domestic gross.
They made that much?
That's how much
Imagine
money they made.
catching the back end on that bastard.
Yeah, right.
That's sweet, dude.
I mean, totally different films. Hugh Jackman and Wolverine, right? Or Greatest Showman and Wolverine, and it's still doing the numbers.
You got to give it credit to Hugh Jackman. He's a wide range of what he can do. It's just not
He's
just
a
like
threat. Song man, dance man.
Yeah, man.
He also did a couple comedies, which wasn't great. Kate and Leopold. It was all right.
I never saw it.
It was all right.
Then he sang at Joan Rivers' funeral.
Did he really?
Yeah.
No
You heard about
way.
that? Like he sang some sort of deal, like out of
And you want to hear something fucked up? It's
I think
you ever see his wife? It's like you would not picture. Like it's usually the other way around.
They've been together for a long time.
Long time, but like she's not great looking.
She's not a Hollywood like.
You would think it's the gold digger the other way.
No, but good for him though. You know what I mean? He's not like some scumbag.
No.
'Cause that seems to be the MO on everybody nowadays. Everybody's like a scumbag.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's almost a cliche now. It's like almost like if you're a Hollywood couple, you're like, what do you think? 5? Well, let's do 5. 5
Yeah.
years, we're good. We'll have a couple kids. We'll have 5
and
years.
if you go past 5, you're considered like that's great. It's cool. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. What they do? 10 years?
Was it 10?
It had to be 10. They had 2 or 3 kids, and I think it was 10 years.
You could cheat on your wife and then she'll make an album about you.
Or you
know
could-
what I mean?
Taylor Swift.
No, Lemonade, dude. Beyonce.
Beyonce did that.
Yeah, man. Come on, man.
Sorry, man. I'm not up.
Taylor Swift just makes albums about guys she's cheated on or fucked over.
Yeah, she's a reverse cocksmith, dude.
She screws over
Oh, is
every
that how it
guy.
works?
Yeah.
See, I'm totally like,
No fault in her.
I'm totally
Dude,
clueless.
She
And what's
hangs
his-
out, man. That's cool.
Loki, what's the guy's name's Loki dated her, and he was just like,
she turned him out.
well, he kind of
He's kind of douchey looking too.
Oh,
Really?
he's so cool though,
But
man.
he's actually really cool.
Is he?
Yeah.
Like supposedly him and Chris Hemsworth are like best friends in real life.
Yeah.
They bonded over all these movies.
I think it's
they
his
made.
character that just throws me off. Then I guess.
Loki.
Yeah.
That's just a rumor. He dies in this movie too, which could be true.
All right, we'll save that. We'll save that. We're gonna come
we'll
back.
corner that for later in the show. Jamie has it all lined up.
So I know you're going to be surprised about this, but we'll round out the box office weekend with Tyler Perry's Acrimony at number 9.
I'm not surprised. That dude kills it.
Right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk shit. Like I don't like the dude's movies or whatever.
They're just
But
not your cup of tea.
They're not my cup of tea.
He
you know
has
what I
a
mean?
clientele, and he goes right for that clientele.
I don't like
What's
sushi.
wrong with that?
I don't eat it. Right? That dude, he kicks.
It's a good
ass.
analogy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He kicks ass.
I agree.
Hey,
I agree.
it goes back
You got to
to-
respect the game, man.
I do.
It goes back to it's like The Rock almost. Rock's not going to try to go win an Oscar. He's putting out these popcorn movies.
Nah, he's going to be president, dude.
Exactly. Right? Him and Oprah Winfrey. We're going to be back and back.
jeez.
But he puts out popcorn movies. He knows what he puts out. Jumanji, Rampage. He has that lovable, like, big, brawny dude. Everybody loves The
He's
Rock.
good in that show too on HBO. I watched that.
Ballers?
Ballers is good. I
badass,
watched the
dude.
first 2 seasons. I didn't watch the third.
It's good.
Yeah.
Rob Corddry's good too, man.
Yeah.
The bald
funny.
guy?
He's funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious. The one guy on the show that gets annoying is I don't know if he's still the client, though. His number one client's best friend, the little weasel little kid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he drives me nuts.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But anyway, go back to the point was these people like Tyler Perry, they have a niche. They stay with it.
Kevin Smith's the same way.
Yeah, Kevin Smith. they have this little genre. They're making tons of money off it. They know they're going to get people
Kevin
coming.
Smith's not making as much money as Tyler Perry, but
Probably not, but
he's low
he's-
budget movies, or not. I'm going to say not high budget movies, and he's guaranteed money.
But he stays.
He's like a mutual fund.
But he stays, and that's one thing. He stays true to what he likes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what Tyler Perry likes. Like maybe he does actually legitimately.
Oh, you're talking
like,
about.
Yeah, like the material it puts out.
Yeah.
You know
But
what I
Kevin
mean?
Smith also got to walk on the Millennium Falcon during the shooting of Seven.
so
So that's just cool enough right there.
Yeah. So listen to this. I'm listening to. I feel like we're just stealing material here, so apologies. I doubt anybody's going to be listening to. Well, aside, I'm listening to Kevin Smith's podcast, Fat Man on Batman, right? And he does it weekly at the Mos Eisley Cantina in Los Angeles.
There's actually a bar like that.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
a pop-up
Los An-
bar. It's called.
Why not? Los
it's-
Angeles has everything.
It's all done like the Mos Eisley.
We got to go someday.
Right?
We'll actually go and do a podcast. Maybe we'll try to see if we can set it up and do it there.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
he might be a little pissed, but
We'll get permission.
But they have a Q&A at the end, and he's notorious in a good way about his Q&As. It's a part of his signature, and evening with Kevin Smith, things like that. And the two of the members of the audience, they go and ask, they start talking, and it turns out that they work at Disney, and they work doing like maintenance and a couple of like regular jobs at Disney, but they work the night shift, and they're building all the Star Wars stuff now. They don't build it during the day; they build it at night. It's under such secrecy,
Dude, it's going to be awesome.
yeah. And he said, the one guy said I saw them craning in the Millennium Falcon or parts.
Well, you
of the
already knew
Millennium
that
Falcon.
was going to be a walk-on.
Yeah, exactly.
There's going to be a Millennium Falcon ride, and I'm sure there's going to just my guessing that you're going to walk through the Falcon.
Oh, man.
Dude, how cool would that be?
amazing.
And there's going to be a ride for the Falcon, and I'm guessing which would be another one. Return of the Jedi when you're going through the Death Star. That would be
Oh,
cool.
yeah, totally.
Going through that with the Falcon, dude.
Yeah.
That
Well, I'm
would be-
hoping they have like a walkthrough of like Snook's backstory.
Yeah.
Like, just saying. Just
Well,
putting that out there.
Let's just hope they design this before
You keep
all
putting it
that.
out there, Jamie.
I want somebody to tell me something.
Did you hear Mark Hamill wants nothing to do with Star Wars again? He's done.
Dude, it's
But he's
down
been
to,
outspoken the last couple of weeks on. He's getting more and more outspoken about how he doesn't like in certain articles.
Well, the check cleared.
Yeah, the check cleared, and I think they're not even going to use them for 9. There's rumors they're going to use Yoda. So I think
Yeah, you don't have to pay Yoda. You just pay Frank Oz.
right. So and then
Have
why
work
bring
that
Hamill?
puppet.
Why bring him back? Because they're trying to let the past die. So fuck them.
Yeah.
Right. I'm getting fed up with the whole.
Well, this is a segment
Lucas
that
film.
we do every week, right? It's how angry we are at.
Hey man, I was just making a joke. I just sent us down this rabbit hole.
Oh God!
It's such easy candy for us
It
to bite
is.
a hold
We
of.
all, and we're not the only ones, man. There's so many people. Stormy Daniels. I read this today. It's almost funny.
She's pissed about Star
She
Wars.
is. She fucking ridiculed Ryan Johnson, and he didn't have anything.
Hey,
it was so
He's got to
funny.
be shitting a brick because she's about to bring down a president. So
She is. Nobody else could, but fucking triple D's.
All right, so that's what I was a light news week for me. The other thing we just stumbled on was Steven Spielberg had a really pleasant experience doing Ready Player One with Warner Brothers, and so much so that he wants to dive into Darkhawk. It's a DC property, DC comic.
What's it about?
1941 air. I just read the highlights, so it's based on a fighter squadron led by leader.
So it's
led
not a
by leader. That sounds
superhero
terrible.
movie. It's just
I don't honestly.
Comic book.
Right before we started the podcast, I saw it pop up in a news
okay.
feed.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you guys knew because you guys read a lot of comics.
That's out of my realm, dude.
Yeah, it's old school comic book that didn't endure. Like
Maybe
it's
that's
not
what-
a DC mainstay.
See, then maybe it's not a superhero genre. Maybe it's just a comic book about World War II.
Could be, but here's the thing: he knows how to do. He knows how to do world period pieces. He
I'm
knows how
sorry.
to do fighter pilots and fighter scenes.
I'll see it. It's Spielberg.
Yeah,
And even Ready Player One, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it's his top 5, but
no way.
no way. But
Yeah.
it's definitely a good movie, and I know at least when I go see a movie as his, I don't think there's ever been.
Sorry, that was really abrupt. I was like, no way.
I thought it was decent, man.
Yeah, we both
top
loved it.
5 though.
No, not top. Not
I mean,
That's what I mean. Not top
Yeah.
5, but
Yeah.
but you know when you see a Spielberg movie, you're not going to get gypped. You're not going
True.
to the movies and walk out and be like, dude, I just spent my money on that crap.
I just got Star Wars Last Jedi.
Did you hear Solo? Speaking of Star Wars,
Stick that in your ventilation shaft.
Solo is going to be one of the most expensive movies ever made. And so with the
Seriously?
Avengers. But the Avengers, you know why? Because the cast alone probably cost them tons of money.
Yeah.
But Solo, because they had to do so many reshoots, it's up there with Avengers.
I'll tell you what. So that's a good segue, Nick, because I wanted to go from news to trailers. Incredibles 2 trailer
I saw that.
just came out.
I didn't see that.
They had a new trailer come out for, I think it was, I don't know, a couple days ago. It looks good. We're familiar with all these characters, so my first instinct was to say, all right, well, this is just a rehash. This is what Disney does. Nothing original. They just rehash and remake the old stuff. Brad Bird, it must have been some type of thing that was going around, because as I was thinking it, I also stumbled on an article that said Brad Bird was pretty outspoken and saying this is not a money grab. This is actually a good story that's going to be, bring some solid
I
entertainment.
like the first one.
Yeah, you
First
would,
one's amazing.
You would
Yeah,
think the first
storyline's
one's one
great.
of the best cartoon movies in the last probably 15 years.
Oh yeah, totally, man.
It was really well done.
It's one of
They're all
it's
good.
One of my favorite superhero movies.
Wreck-It Ralph was badass.
Yeah, well, was Wreck-It Ralph? I think it was DreamWorks, wasn't it?
Was it? No, I thought that was.
It
was
might have been Pixar. I don't know.
Fact
Fact
check.
check. Yeah. We'll come back and let you know next
So
week.
Stay tuned.
it looks like there's a big focus on Jack they have a lot of they start out with the same dinner table scene, and that's why the feeling I got was like, this is all really familiar and almost like kind of lazy. And then I started to look at it, and then I was like, all right, I'm in. Long story short, I'm in. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint and it delivers on the story, which Pixar is known for. Of course, Avengers: Infinity War. I can't even tell which is the last trailer anymore because I'm international trailer.
There's
These
so
little
many different
nuggets.
ones out there. Who cares, man? We are just freaking hyped on this stuff.
Yeah.
We were just talking about scooping everybody next week, and I think it's a great idea.
Oh yeah.
For anybody that's tuning into our podcast every week, we're probably going to skip Tuesday and just go right into watching the movie and then telling everybody what we think about it. So, I mean, I can't tell you how hyped I am. I think I'm more hyped about seeing this than Last Jedi. Even though I was hyped about Last Jedi, I think going into this, I know it's going to be done right, done well. I'm not even worried about that.
I don't know. I think if Last Jedi turned out to be good, you would. I mean, it's
No, it's easy to say.
No,
after the
it's
fact.
easy to say. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
right.
what I'm saying. Like if Last Jedi turned out the way I thought it should have, that's opinion based. But
Popular opinion.
yeah,
Don't tell Disney that.
But,
90% said it was good.
you know what I mean. I was really hyped up for that,
44%.
and I think I'm just as hyped up for the. I'm definitely just as hyped up for the Avengers.
It's
For
funny
sure.
how one movie is with totally different storylines, no relativity at all, has impacted my level of excitement for the next movie.
What's that? What?
Meaning that, to your point, Star Wars was Last Jedi was one of these things where you're like, holy shit, man, this is going to be amazing. Bringing back Luke. Oh my god.
Yeah, you
Right?
couldn't lose. You couldn't go wrong.
And so you automatically, everything else is a second. No matter how good it is, it's like it's second. If they pull this off and they do it right, everything else is
Because you got to think about it. Like going into it, I mean, if you asked me a year ago, Avengers 4 or Last Jedi, then Han Solo, I probably would have said Last Jedi, then Han Solo, then Avengers.
No way. I wouldn't even have done that. You would have done that? Seriously? Even
not
even
seeing
that?
the movie yet.
No,
Not seeing
I'm saying like I would have done probably Last Jedi and Infinity War and then Han Solo. Because Han Solo one at first, even back then, it was like this thing's like it sounds like it's going to be a stinker, but then it looks like it's going to be better than The Last Jedi.
It does. But what I'm saying is, as being a Star Wars fan as I am, and you guys can attest to this.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan to the point where nothing rivals it, but I'm like, to your point, Jamie, Last Jedi and you probably corrected me because it made a lot of sense. Last Jedi was such a disappointment to me. I just am not getting hyped up as I usually would for Han Solo, even though I've liked.
It's a shame.
Even though I've liked the trailer.
It's a shame too because
makes sense.
Remember when Rogue One came out? You know,
I was hyped.
The reverse happened. Like I was hyped, but I wasn't like that hyped. But when I came out of that motherfucker, I was pumped. I was like, dude,
that movie's bad.
That movie is probably one of the best Star Wars, in my opinion.
The visuals and the storyline was fantastic.
Dude, Rogue One was badass.
We actually have to do a podcast on that one day.
I'm
that
not
is
saying
a really
it's the
good
best, but it's definitely in the top 3.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Empire, Return of the Jedi, and I'd probably do Rogue One.
I would definitely keep it up there.
Empire, Return of the Jedi. Wait, what?
I like Return of the Jedi just because it opens up everything. But I guess people will probably put Star Wars after Return of the Jedi.
I was like, wait, what?
No, I'm with Nick. That's a good assessment. I would do Empire, Return of the Jedi, and then Rogue. For sure.
Empire, New Hope, then Rogue One, then Return of the Jedi.
But it's all relative. But I'm saying like
they're all still,
it's top 3, right?
Yeah.
So my
totally.
point being is like the reverse happened for Rogue One for me. Like I was like pumped, but it wasn't as pumped as like going to go see Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But then when I came out of Rogue One, I was like, damn! Like you just blew my mind.
Yeah.
When I came out of Last Jedi, I felt like my ass was blown out.
And you know what?
You know what I mean?
And you know what? This might be a theme after we see Han Solo is, say Han Solo kicks ass, right? Let's just hypothetically say this movie kicks ass like Rogue One does. What is the theme of the movies that actually did well? The time period. The time period in Star Wars is what I'm talking about. The time period of when Vader...
You're talking about real time? Okay, go ahead.
Vader... They're not real time, the time period within Star Wars. Vader and the Emperor are in control through when they're not in control, when they finally lose it.
Yeah.
If Han Solo really kicks ass. That's what sells in Star Wars. Not the shit before, not the shit after, the shit right in that time frame.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? So like the time frame between...
He's saying that the general Star Wars story is like the selling point.
Yes.
That's a better way to say it. He's saying that general, not like Clone Wars and all that.
Yes.
And then like way after, like how did this new order come into?
Yes.
That's why I think
it's still tied to the original characters.
That's why I think exactly. Who gives a fuck about putting the past behind you? Go fuck them. But that's why I do a Kenobi movie.
Yeah, we should just
do a Kenobi movie with Ian McGregor because he was fantastic. The only thing that came out of that,
that's a good idea too.
That's
a really good idea.
That's an awesome idea. The only thing that came out of that 1, 2, and 3 was Ian McGregor as Kenobi. Was fantastic.
Agreed.
And if they do a Kenobi movie, like you said, like a Western, That would be fantastic.
Bring in
that's what
bring in the big swinger
John
too.
said that.
Liam Neeson.
the hammer, the Irish hammer.
Yeah, packing that heat, son.
I got a certain set of skills.
All us Irishmen. He's the one that's the one that dispels all the stereotypes.
But yeah, back to the point though. I mean, to Jamie's point, he corrected me, which was absolutely correct. The failure of Last Jedi just proves how like people are so down on Star Wars right now, and I don't know if it's a marketing scheme of Disney just trying to like push that aside because they don't want to recognize their failures. But that's the other thing I wanted to talk about Star Wars because it was in the news this week. I think I sent it to you guys. The guy who was supposed to do Episode 9, what the hell was his name? Jurassic World director. Colin.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Tavares. What was the Jurassic World director? He got fired.
I don't know.
He was fact check next week. Anyway, the reason why he supposedly got fired was because he wanted Luke in 9, and he argued with
Kathleen Kennedy
because he read the script for what Rian Johnson wrote.
Kathleen Kennedy wasn't a creative.
Yeah, we should just change the name of the show.
There was an argument.
Shit on Last Jedi.
And Jamie, you'll like this. And Jamie.
Seriously,
I know we can try.
Like somehow
man.
I make a joke and then I blame myself because I make like a
You
subtle
stir
joke,
the pot, man.
and then we just drop down this rabbit hole, just taking a dump all over.
But real quick, you'll like this. He wanted to keep Snoke around too.
Yeah.
Well,
cool. Well, I at least find out who the fuck he is. Just saying.
Yeah, it's a testament to our passion, man.
But they didn't want to do a 9 with all these other characters in it. They wanted to have that 9 devoted to the Poes, the Reys, Kylo Ren.
There's room for everybody. You don't have to.
When you're doing a 2.5 hour movie, there's room for fucking everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're good. How much room are they going to need for Infinity War? I mean, that's.
Oh, that's
like,
a good segue. Good segue.
Let's get back on that.
That's beautiful. You're an artist.
I'm getting this down.
We should just start in the beginning every week saying, this is what we hate about this is our segment of The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi rant, take 12.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Now, again, testament to our passion. But, they have a lot to squeeze in for Infinity War. One thing I wanted to talk about with Infinity War was with the smattering of different trailers, international trailer. Oh, by the way, this is a deeper trailer of Thor and
the Avengers, Thor and
the Guardians and everything.
Guardians, yeah.
And
which is cool. Which is Harry.
Did you see the one where Star-Lord's like changing his voice?
Yeah, they're mocking. You're changing your voice. No, I'm not.
Your voice is deeper. He's like trying to man up with them. I like that little, there's, and Marvel's really good about this because I'm really sensitive to giving away too much of the movie. But Marvel's been really good at sort of, sometimes they'll throw out a fake, sometimes they'll throw out, like you never saw Thor's eye patch in any of the teasers for Ragnarok.
No, you're right. You're right about that.
Right? So they had to cut different scenes that were kind of little sleight of hand, telling you, getting you excited, but not giving away the movie. So enjoying the trailers, but also holding on to the fact that I hope they haven't given much away.
I don't think they did.
I only watched the 2 on purpose. I watched the first one, and then I watched the international one.
But there's been a lot of little teasers. Like
I'm not watching any more of it, and that's it. No, because I don't want to. You don't
want to taint the experience.
Nah, I don't want to get in my own head.
Yeah, totally.
It's one of those things where you almost want to go dark. I get you.
I'll eat the Sour Patch Kids, lean back, and watch that shit.
Enjoy the hell out of it.
Well, you went dark? Yeah, going dark is a good idea.
So one of the other things that I saw, again, it's kind of like this Wikipedia rabbit hole that you go in. You rub up against all kinds of articles that leads to other articles and another article. One of the things while I was watching the latest Infinity War trailer was the Russo brothers, who are the directors on some of our favorite Marvel properties, Infinity War being this next movie, said that Phase 4 is going to be drastically different than Phase 3, which is Infinity War's the end of Phase 3. And I'm stoked about that.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about right here.
See, this is what I like. I like to have a again, a vision.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to change it, but they usually change it in the right way.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier with you guys.
Go ahead.
Off air was this is why I think, and you hear like how they're not releasing the new title or whatever for the next one, and we hear like bits and pieces like some of the characters are going to die or whatever, and I'm thinking that a majority of them are going to cash out.
Wow.
I'm thinking a majority.
Reset.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't think it's going to be a reset. I think they're just.
Well, it's
gonna,
all serial storytelling.
Yeah, and I think they're going to bring in a new section, shove it the fuck in there,
Yeah.
and then start off like, hey, and that's what I was saying. Like, since Disney like bought out like Fox.
Well, that deal's not finalized.
It's not
yet.
finalized yet.
No,
because I was hoping for like the X-Men.
They finalized on their parts. It's the government that has to finalize. Make sure
What's the monopoly thing?
Yeah, because Disney owns a ton of shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like there was an article about how much Disney's made compared to other movies the last 5-6 years, and it's like ridiculous. I forget how much the difference was.
I never thought of entertainment as being a monopoly.
Well, it is, but if you think about it, like with news, because that's how they factor all that shit
They
in.
own ABC.
Yeah, well,
they own-
I think you're
they own
absolutely
ESPN.
But I think you're absolutely right as far as news being entertainment, because I don't take that shit seriously at all.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. That's like everything else. It's like you're
a
supposed to
ratings
like.
grab.
Well,
Yeah.
like I was saying
Totally.
earlier, you're supposed to look at it, watch it,
Use your brain.
use your use your brain and form your own opinion.
Yeah.
That's the point of this shit.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like, yes, I
Some people
want
just
to vote for.
it's the best
Yeah.
soup in the world, and they just
Exactly.
ladle it right on it.
Yeah, and then people just
that's
take it.
how somebody became
Yeah.
president, right?
Yeah, dude, that's how it goes.
People that
nowadays.
can't read that just said, "Oh, he's smart. He was a businessman. He must know."
Well, here's the thing. I learned it in a writing course when I went to school. Is that if they said the best editorials are the ones that do point counterpoint, right? It's one writer, but as long as the minute you start to substantiate some legitimacy is when you put yourself on the other side of the fence of your argument, right? So if I'm saying like, "Oh man, Marvel's awesome and DC sucks," then you're automatically flat, right?
Right.
But then if you go and you put yourself in the other person's shoes or on the other side of the argument, and you say, "Yeah, but this happened, this happened, this happened. This is where they've substantiated themselves as this blah blah blah." Then you start to make something actually interesting to
Both
get
sides.
people that it's thought provoking,
Right.
right? But now, like you said, Jamie,
Yeah,
if
use
you got a
your brain.
monopoly and you're not discerning,
Yeah, that's the problem with it. Is if I would to foresee a problem would
Yeah.
be that hey, now they're like a conglomerate, and then they have
Because they had
this many, because that is the problem nowadays. Is
They're
so
getting a
why
lot.
the fuck has anybody said anything about Verizon and Comcast being the only goddamn game in town? You know?
Well, they're not the only game in the country.
What?
There's like 6 other ones.
well, he's got a point, because that's another thing. Because like, think about that one. Because now NBC owns Comcast.
Yeah.
Look how big that shit is, dude. Like,
Yeah, no, I
it's-
get that, but they're not the only 2 internet providers
Like,
in
dude,
the country.
I
There's
can't
like
even-
6 major ones. As long as there's not one ruling them all.
Well, I can't even pit them against each other anymore when I go to negotiate a new bill.
They don't care.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah, whatever, you're going to
I'm
one
like,
of us.
I'm going to go to Verizon. Yeah, well, you'll be back.
Yeah,
Trust me,
or
buddy.
you threaten them be like, I'm gonna go to DirecTV, but what if it rains? Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, buddy.
What if the wind picks up?
Yeah, you're right.
It's not even
That's
like their
proud.
customer service doesn't need. It's not even in their script anymore.
Nah,
You're like, yeah, well, they're threatening. Well, just let them go. They'll
Catch you on the flip side.
Yeah, it's funny now.
So the other trailer that came out, of course, was Solo. And
That's badass.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
And I think
How old are you? 198 years old? Damn, he's old.
so much coolness going on
Yeah.
there. It's definitely a Western.
Yeah,
It's
I like how
definitely-
you analyze
Yeah,
that.
you were
as
like, it's a
Western
robbery.
space.
A robbery, yeah.
It's a train heist. is
Oh,
what it
I
is.
love the images of the Falcon, though.
Yes.
Dude, it's all fresh, new. It's
Yeah.
like, that is cool.
Chewie's going to steal the show.
I have a feeling.
I like how they.
Chewie looks like he has a loved one in it.
Yeah,
too.
that looks cool. But I like how they did the card game. It's awesome.
Because
Dude,
if you go into Star Wars, that's a big deal. How he got the Falcon.
Yeah,
it was
dude.
all through the card
It's
game
weird,
against.
right?
It's awesome.
It's a card game, but it's also a dice game, right?
Yeah.
Because he's got the dice hanging from the golden dice that he has hanging from. So if you look at the trailer,
Well, the end of Last Jedi, they're going.
yeah, but he's always had him in the yeah, he's always had him in the. Our listeners cannot see you make the juggling balls.
Yeah.
But you see this little bromance start to happen with him and Lando. You see the fact that Lando's got the Millennium Falcon. You know, it's the infamous or famous card game that happens where he actually wins the Millennium Falcon.
I wonder what he bets to get it. That's good. That's really because
Yeah.
the Lando's betting the Falcon. What is Han betting? Chewie?
yeah, he doesn't have shit.
I mean, because
Maybe
you've
it's all
got to be
bluff.
betting some. Probably. I'm assuming it was a bluff.
Yeah, and
That would
then
be cool.
You got to wonder how Woody Harrelson plays into this too. He's the middleman, right?
Supposedly he's Han's mentor.
Hey, everybody's forgetting too. What about Jabba? Could Jabba be playing into that?
Well, maybe, but the big baddie in there is, I think I got this right, is Paul Bettany's character, Vision, right?
I love that guy. He's a good actor.
You're absolutely right, Nick. He's a great actor.
Beautiful Bride. He was in that. Fantastic.
Yes.
And
Jamie's favorite Sword and Shield movie about, God damn it, it was with the Joker.
Sword and Shield movie.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, it was First Night. Is it First Night?
Oh yeah, he was in the.
Knight's
Tale.
Tale.
Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale. That's what it was.
He is in that. He's the guy.
Ledger.
I forgot he was in that. He's the guy that does all the talking and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's like the mob boss that hires this crew. I'm putting together a crew to rob this train.
And Woody Harrelson and them are the ones that are the crew.
Yeah.
But somewhere I'm assuming it goes haywire.
Yeah, and then I don't know who. What's her name? Amelia Clark.
How she
Amelia
fits
Clark.
into it. Probably I'm assuming it's a love interest.
Yeah.
You know, she's hot, so it's cares.
My big takeaway was I think Chewie's going to steal the show in this movie.
Probably.
I mean, he's prevalent in it big time. I think obviously they were the bestie of the besties. One of the moments when, well, not the last Star Wars movie, but Force Awakens. Heartbreaking moment when Chewie's wail when Han gets the
Killed,
saber.
yeah.
I mean, it was like, yeah, you like their whole lineage.
And you felt something. You know why? Because you knew Han's backstory.
Yeah.
When he died.
Let's not go back there. Come on,
Sorry.
stop it.
Sorry.
But 2 thumbs up so far regarding the trailer. But Nick, you said something that kind of surprised me. You said it was getting a little bit of a rough reaction from the critics.
I didn't say that.
No?
No.
I thought you did. Maybe it was my other really good friend named Nick. I don't have another good friend named Nick.
I don't remember saying that. Also, no, I said he was getting a rough reaction. The guy who playing Han.
Oh, okay.
You know, in early going, they were the critics were saying that they were the first couple of trailers that came out. They were like concerned. I didn't say the movie. I don't. Maybe I missed.
Well, the biggest problem with that, and I read this too, but is that you never want to do an imitation because if you do a poor imitation, it stinks.
Yeah,
like it just reeks of bad acting, which is the opposite of what happened when JJ cast or his casting director cast all the people for that first Star Wars reboot. You know, he hit
Star Trek. You mean?
Oh, sorry, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I was like reboot of Star Wars. I don't.
He
remember
hit
that.
all those characters like pitch perfect.
Oh, it
Yep.
was fantastic.
Yeah,
I
another
actually think Chris Pine was probably better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A totally better actor. Now, Leonard Nimoy, you're not replacing Spock. But
Yeah, like Heath Ledger is like a Joker too.
Ah,
Think
yeah.
about that. Like how you think about it realistically, like, oh, Jack Nicholson, how do you beat that? And then you bring in like Heath Ledger, which everybody's like, he's got like a good smile, and then you go and see his performance, like, damn,
that was probably
damn.
I'll be honest with you, that was probably one of the top 5 performances I've ever witnessed.
Oh yeah, it's
I loved it.
awesome.
I really loved it. I'm not just talking about comic book movies. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about
straight up acting.
Straight up acting. And you don't think Keith Ledger? I gave him his due until I saw that movie. Granted, it's a shame he passed, and we didn't get to see more of him. But that was probably one of the best performances, bar none, I've ever seen from a guy like I didn't expect. He just blew me away.
Think about
more
it.
so than Sterling K. Brown from This Is Us.
That Trump back tear coming down his cheek. He's in a new movie coming out. I saw a trailer. I didn't watch it, but there's
Artemis.
Yes,
That looks good, dude.
it does, but I didn't watch the trailer.
Yeah. Sorry, Jamie. You were about to say something.
No. I'm listening.
So so Solo, we got thumbs up on the trailer for sure. Our money's already spent, right? We jokingly talk about how we should just have direct deposit into Disney's coffers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have our money.
They have our money. Anything they release, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go see.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they wanted to unfreeze Walt, they could by now. You know what I mean?
Well, he's ahead.
It's a lot of dough.
It's ahead, man. It's gonna happen someday. You watch.
Dude, that Family Guy was
motherfucker.
awesome.
That motherfucker will
Was
come
it
back,
Family
dude.
Guy?
Yeah, it was Family Guy. Remember they like
Or was it Futurama?
No, they unfroze. No, it was Family Guy when they like unfroze his head, and they're like,
What's it, Brian and
yeah,
Stewie?
yeah.
Stewie, they go in the
and there
future
was like
or
some
whatever?
skit. They like unfroze his head, and he's like, are the Jews still running Hollywood? And they're like, yeah. He's like, yes. And then they like put me back in. Dude, that
I
show.
do remember that now.
That show is hilarious.
I used to love Family Guy.
All right, last but not least on my trailer list is the Deadpool 2 second trailer came out. And I just giggled the whole way through that.
Which one's that?
That's the Deadpool?
Oh, Deadpool.
The second one.
Deadpool
Yeah,
2.
that looks good.
Yeah, I mean, they're starts out the self-referential stuff that just breaks the fourth wall, and like there's a scene where him and I think it's T.J. Miller who plays Weasel. He's like, yeah, well, of course you never make 3, you always make 2. Stop when it's good, and I'm butchering it, but. That breaking the fourth wall, talking to the talking to the audience. Here's the one thing that I didn't know. We talked about the director change. Turns out the director they have was an assistant director to the first one, or co-directing, and he didn't get credited.
Why?
I guess because he was AD and not, the primary director.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the guy that directed it, the guy who's directing it now, his name's David. I'm going to butcher his name, but it's Leitch, David Leitch or David Lech. He, huge stunt guy, stunt coordinator. I looked at his IMDb. He's got more stunt coordinator and action coordinator credits than directing credits. He's only directed, I think, like 4 or 5 films. He wasn't credited for The Last Deadpool. But he has done action direction for John Wick 2,
Shit.
Atomic Blonde,
Both good movies.
Deadpool 1, right? So this dude was the badass behind all the badassery.
Yeah, sick, dude.
And so you got to wonder how that played out. Like maybe he was really the guy who was the big voice in Deadpool 1.
Totally.
Well, that
probably
Atomic
was.
Blonde definitely. Dude, I told you that had like a John Wick feel to it. I was like, this is bad.
Oh yeah, you hit that right
But
on
now
the
you
head.
know why.
Yeah, it's the same dude.
I mean, it was
I like it.
just really well done.
Yeah, it's like the exact opposite of like Fast and Furious scene shit out, dude. This part's awesome.
So that's all I have in the well. I was hesitant to bring this up. It's totally bait for you, Jamie.
Don't.
What's that?
But Ocean's 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. And, I feel bad because it looks like it's going to stink. Like, we'll see what happens.
I just wasn't.
You think they were just trying to cash in?
No,
and
I
put
think
a
they're going
woman's
to cash in,
shit-
but that's what I think. And I feel bad because, like, the women actors are going to get the shaft on that deal. Because they're going to blame it on the fact that they're women, and it's going to be the fact that, no, you couldn't come up with a new fucking story. You rehash something. You're like, oh, you know what? We'll put the woman's spin on it, and then we'll push it out there, and we'll make a buck or two.
Yeah.
So you think it's a money grab
I think it's a total money grab
for all of them, and including the studio?
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a sad shame. Come up with some new material. Again.
I hope it makes $0.
Yeah,
Not because to your point, Jamie, not because I think that
it has nothing to do with the women factor. That is not the point. The point being is come up with new material.
Yeah.
That's it. Something good.
Yeah, and you're right. Great actresses or actors in this. Sandra Bullock, Kate Blanchett's in it. They're basically playing the female versions. She's actually Danny Ocean's sister, Debbie Ocean.
Oh yeah,
And he makes
cool. Yeah,
and he makes
cool.
the only person that shows up in it is Matt Damon, supposedly.
Seriously?
I heard Matt Damon makes a cameo.
Yeah. What does he say? How about these apples?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's like the Ghostbusters thing, man.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, it's a shame.
They're trying to get grab at the women's movement and make it grab.
Hey, I'm all
It's sleazy.
yeah.
No, I agree. I totally agree.
I'm all for the women's movement, man. I am all for it, but like, give them something that they can stand on. Don't send them in there with a piece of shit.
Well, you're saying
You know what I mean? Why can't you make you could make like an Ocean's 8 or whatever, but not called Ocean's 8. Do the story different.
Then you
come
find
up
out-
with some new material. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, make it interesting.
And then you find out she's his sister after the whole thing.
Yeah,
which would have been cool.
or
Yeah.
something like along those lines. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wow
Easter
me.
egg.
Don't
Right.
Easter egg. Don't screw me. Don't play with me here.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
it's not. It's more like, hey, man, the American public, man, they're dumb enough.
yeah, that's exactly
They're
what
dumb
it is.
enough. Just put this trash out there, and
well, it's
They're a
probably,
bunch
it's
of
gonna
lemmings.
flop. It's
Yeah.
going to flop.
I hope so.
Because most women aren't going to see that movie, and if women aren't going to see it, then the men aren't going to. Men are already going to see it. I'll see it if it comes on like HBO. I'll pop that shit on. Check it out.
Maybe we're snobs, man. Maybe we're like, because we're like saying to ourselves, yeah, this is
No, it's
a
perfect.
lowbrow grab.
Try not to.
and maybe it'll be one of those things because this market has been, or this demographic has been so poorly served in the action genre that women are going to be like, let's do this, ladies. Come on, we're seeing Ocean's 8 on Thursday night. Let's go.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I don't know. It's a shame.
If it ain't
dude.
50 Shades of something, they ain't going to do that. Those movies were horrible.
I don't have high hopes for it. I did see it.
Well,
in
real quick, I
trailer
want to
feeds.
get back to the Avengers. Didn't you have a theory that you wanted to get on?
Yeah.
Before
Well,
touched-
we semi got into it. It's just
But you didn't
I
finish it.
I think all those characters, or not all of them. I'm sorry. I think a majority of them are going to get knocked out, and then I don't know how, because this was more along the lines of me getting hyped up about X-Men again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was thinking, it's like, dude,
You're trying to clear the path
they
for
could,
X-Men,
They
you
could
think?
easily get in this. X-Men was my favorite.
Yeah.
I make no bones about that, and Spider-Man. I make no bones about that. Mm-hmm. It just, I was hoping that, you know what I mean? That, because I think they really are going to nix a bunch of them. I don't think it's just going to be like one or two. I think they're going to nix a bunch of them. But what are they going to do after that is the question.
I don't think it's a bunch. I don't think you do a bunch because a lot of them are going to be doing solo movies again. I heard you said Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. is in talks for 4.
Yep.
So if he's in talks, that means they probably don't have him dead. And you already know Doctor Strange is going to have a second movie. You already know Ant-Man's going to have a second movie with the Wasp. That's already coming out. That's already allotted. The only ones other than that you probably could get rid of is Thor, which I don't think they're going to get rid of. Obviously, I think we all agree Cap's gone. Maybe Black Widow. You could probably easily get rid of Hawkeye, but
I think maybe the Hulk.
nah, he's such a mainstay. I don't
I don't
see
know,
that.
dude. It's possible.
Well, think about Kevin Feige, right? He's still a lover of comic books, right? And so, if you think about that, right, there's nobody. Iron Man never died. Cap died. I don't remember. I think Hank Pym might have died, but that wasn't.
But it's just
Yeah,
he's
man.
old though, even in the comic books. He's
Yeah,
old.
so I'm trying to think who's died, but then they say nobody's ever really dead.
Yeah, nobody is ever really dead in the
yeah.
comic books.
So there's always that, but they're bringing in new characters. Like Captain Marvel hasn't come out yet, right? They haven't started. Think about what they started at the tail end of the 10 years, right? They're major franchises that made money. If we just think about it business-wise, they're going to want those movies to do 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But, point counterpoint, I haven't heard anything about a Doctor Strange 2.
Nope.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I have. There's been rumors about him coming back for it too, and they already have the baddie set up. It was his teacher from the first one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have. I'm not saying he will come back, but I have heard rumors that I can never remember his name. Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
So who do we got for characters then? We're gonna have to.
I'm thinking off the bat. I'm thinking death-wise, who's going to die?
Cap's number one.
Cap, and Cap.
You
and
can get rid of
Vision.
Hawkeye. Nobody would think
Vision.
it was
Yeah,
sad, but it's true.
yeah.
Some of the Guardians.
They're not going to kill Groot again.
No.
No.
Maybe the girl with the antennas, but I doubt that.
Zoe Saldana.
No, you could kill her. What's her face? Probably
Yeah.
could die.
Gamora?
Gamora's sister.
Gamora's sister.
Who, by the way, is the redhead from Jumanji. I didn't know that.
Seriously?
Yeah, she's smoking.
Damn.
I didn't realize that either. Then I was wondering why she was in that
I see it now.
that picture from what they released from the Infinity War, and
Yeah.
they show all the actresses and
Yeah,
actors.
yeah.
And
Oh,
she's in that,
totally,
and I'm
man.
like, why is she in that? And then I'm like scrolling down, and you find out who she. I'm like, really?
Yeah, totally. I see it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Gamora.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just zoned out for a second, dude.
Yeah, well, going back.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm thinking Cap and Vision.
Or what about Winter Soldier?
He's got to be the new Cap.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You
That
got
happened
think. Well, you
in the
got
comics.
Did it?
but you also got to think about too, like movie wise. Like if you kill Cap, you got to have that awkward moment with Iron Man and Winter Soldier. You know what I mean? It's gonna you're gonna have to have that winter moment.
Yeah, totally, man. I mean, so if we have, who are you thinking?
Vision. Cap.
You're thinking it's going to be clean. Put it this way:
I don't think they're gonna clean the whole slate.
Scarlett Johansson said there's going to be 30 Marvel characters on screen at one time.
Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking like some of them are gonna die. Like obviously, I don't think Black Panther's gonna die because that
No
movie
way.
made so much damn money, dude. So not him. Do you think also too? I meant to bring this up too, not to change the subject, but do you think that they're gonna bring? I heard that they were thinking about bringing some of the like characters that like quote unquote died. That were like Killmonger.
Yeah.
They're talking about like he was going to pop in or something. Do you think that's true?
Do you think that? Wait, are you getting your wires crossed from like maybe some of the things that's going on with Captain Marvel being set in the 90s?
No. I was talking about it. I saw something on the fact that like Killmonger might like come in and help or something like that, or he didn't necessarily die.
I don't. Well, who knows? That would be weird.
That would be weird.
Yeah, if it wasn't, I mean, I know that I mean, Wakanda's all up in that trailer.
This is all speculation. Yeah, dude, they Wakanda'd it out.
What were they saying? Like, ba boom ba.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally stoked. It's gonna be a good thing. I don't want to. The flushing sound. Nick had to take a pee break, but I think that before we get started on the next section, we'll wait for him. But I think that here's the part I struggle with most with Infinity War. How are they going to fit it all in?
Well, that's what I was saying. You wanted to go see it in IMAX.
Yeah.
Your neck would have to be on a damn swivel. Think about that. 30 characters or whatever that you said. Like, you'd be like...
In 3D.
Yeah, your head would be like a gyro. Like a gyroscope. You're like,
It's still got a running time of 2.5 hours.
I don't know how that's possible, too.
Fitting everything in.
Yeah, I think we are seeing an IMAX.
Oh, I was thinking of the King of Prussia one with the...
Oh, no, we're not going to King of Prussia one. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about like one of these.
I love that shit, man.
Like a Soren kind of thing?
Yeah, like, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So, all right, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's get into what we talked about, what we mentioned in the beginning of the show. What are we watching now?
Okay.
All right, we're watching. I know, Nick, you had some free time, not free time, but you had more time than
most.
Dude, you had a lot of beat off time, it sounds like.
Actually, I had none of that time.
Yo, you know what?
There's always time for that, dude.
Chris Rock.
Sometimes I just go punch it in the bathroom.
Chris Rock said, "There's
Yank
nothing."
it out real quick.
Get that poison out, son.
Chris Rock said, "There's nothing sexier than an empty house."
Yeah, you're damn right. He's dead on with that one.
Dude, even if it's for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's all you need. I don't want it empty all day. Give me
My
5
wife,
minutes.
my wife,
5, you got stamina, man.
my wife goes, "What do you do in the morning? You only have like 15 minutes before work. You can't help me out." I'm like, "Dude, that's my 15 minutes for coffee and to sit back and relax.
Yeah.
I ain't doing shit."
Yeah, you know what? I kind of got upset the other day or last night because it's like, you know how you have your target time, just whatever that target.
Yeah,
it's
it's the morning for me. Yeah,
relax time. And you set your sights on it, right? Yeah. And then if it gets jarred and something gets
annoyed.
in the way, yeah, because right up my ass sideways, man. But anyway, we digress. Nick, you're probably, like I said before, you're probably more into these seasons. We started watching. We mentioned this last week. We started watching Counterpart. We had Lost in Space debut this week. We had the Expanse debut this week. The Expanse not debut, but it's their third season.
Third
of the
season,
Expanse. Yeah. Lost in Space definitely debuted, and we're watching Counterpart. Walking Dead. We're gonna hold off on that.
Yeah, I'm a dick.
yeah. We gotta, dude. We gotta do it soon. My wife is killing me. Did she grill you the other day?
Yeah,
she said
did.
she was going to.
She was up my ass about it.
She said she was going to get on your ass. I'm like, dude, leave me alone. She goes, I want to talk about it. I'm like,
nah, I'm with her.
We gotta save it for a Halloween episode.
Yeah,
the start of season 9.
I'll be all summer watching it.
I will mention one thing. They did do the crossover for the finale for Walking Dead. And Nick or Jamie, I'm not going to spoil it, but one of the characters actually crossed over from Walking Dead to the spin-off show Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, you talked about that last week, I think.
Yeah, so we knew it was coming up, but they actually did it, and they did it seamlessly.
I got to ask you, they did it. I think we won't know until the second episode how well it worked, but you got to think though, they have to almost take the one show, Fear the Walking Dead, and like put it into the future for what they were at. Because you got to think they started the show right after it happened. Rick's show,
I think they are doing that.
Yeah, Rick's show started about 2 weeks after the dead happened.
Yeah.
So, and they were already a couple years ahead. Not a couple years, but I guess, would you say 2 years ahead? So when, what's his face? I guess I'll say Morgan. When Morgan left, he also did a travel mostly on foot, maybe got like 300 miles by car.
Yeah.
But mostly on foot to get to Texas from Virginia.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not 5 minutes, you know?
I'll tell you what.
So there had to be at least a good year and a half.
They got to reconcile the timeline.
Right. There had to be at least a good year and a half between the last Fear of the Walking Dead till now.
Yeah. They gotta. You're right. You're absolutely right. They got to reconcile the timeline.
They do.
The thing that
made it sound so much better. Than
the thing that I wasn't watching Fear. I watched the first season, but I wasn't watching it.
I watched it here and there.
So is this a sign that,
they needed a boost?
It needs a shot in the arm here.
Yeah, they totally needed a shot. First of all, they got to get rid of that one kid, Nick. He's a douchebag.
Yeah.
Not the Nick on this show, the Nick on that show. Shut up, Jamie.
I was like, ooh.
No, big meatball hanging there.
But they got to get rid of him, and I think he'll be fine. I just don't think he'll ever carry the weight like Walking Dead did. But Adam Morgan, it's like Adam Worf to Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine was fine, but Worf spiced it up, got a little more energy into it, and you grab somebody from the original. I think that's what this is going to do.
That's a good analogy, man. I would say that's exactly what
he
was
broke
going
out Worf, dude.
Yes, I did. Go Star Trek every time, man.
You're damn right.
So that's Walking Dead. We won't dive too far into that because we're probably going to take up a whole episode just recapping everything Walking Dead.
There might be two.
You get me hyped up about Lost in Space, man. I'm digging the
You're digging it?
shit
You're digging
out of it, dude.
Except for Smith, right?
Smith's annoying, but
Parker Posey.
I really like how they took. See, if we're going to talk about reboots here, so far, so good. I haven't seen it all the way through, but they've taken a lot of liberties on this.
And I like the liberties they've taken.
And exactly. It's somebody used their damn brain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're like, hey, they looked at all the characters, and then they're like, you know what? We're going to do it like this. This. We'll still keep this. And so far, so good.
The robot alone was an unbelievable liberty because the original show, I didn't watch it. But
I did. And that was
the original robot was from Earth. It was part of the designation for the Jupiter. But they did this little liberty, and it was.
Had you asking yourself, where the hell's the robot?
Yeah. And then when you finally seen it come in, where the frig did this come from? Why is it attacking this ship? You know what I mean? So,
dude, they're doing.
I didn't spoil anything for you guys, right?
No.
Because I know you're on 5, and I'm past that. I don't want to ruin anything.
Yeah, we're gonna spoil up to episode 5. So anybody listening, it's out of everything that I'm watching now, that's the one I'm most excited about. I'm more excited about that than Walking Dead. More excited about it than The Expanse. Oh, and I'm not shitting on these other shows. I'm just saying I'm really stoked about Lost in Space.
No, it was really well done. I told you before, and I'll tell you now, the flashbacks that you're seeing in the first couple episodes, you think, why are they showing me this?
Another good liberty.
It had nothing to do with this particular episode. But you'll find out later, and I don't want to spoil for either one of you two, why certain flashbacks mean what they mean. They go back to them in later episodes, and you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was well done that way, because it's just not a typical flashback that meant something to the episode. Because I'll say to Jamie what I told you. The flashback in the second episode where they show an asteroid crashing and NASA's doing a thing and she's watching it on TV. They never get really back to that. You'll find out later they do. But I like that. Usual shows will get back to it in the same episode.
Yeah.
They didn't in this. They kind of let that hang in and but it all ties together in the end with a bunch of flashbacks. So it's kind of cool how they did that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I wasn't I seen the old show, and then I was just I wasn't too pumped up about it. I was they might I'm sure they did a decent job, but it's it might still be a little hokey. But I started watching it, and I was sucked right the hell in, dude. Story is everything.
And I liked how they did Alpha Centauri, because that is technically the closest star system to Earth.
Yeah.
So it wasn't it's well out of reach. You know what I mean? Like
Science.
Exactly.
Well, yo, I really like how they made, like, it's pretty cool, like, from like the original show to this show, how they did, like, so like the family was always like a working unit.
Yeah.
But they made it like the dad's like the outsider. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And he's not like the necessary brain. He's like the brawn. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
and I like that.
It was cool as shit.
And they're dysfunctional.
Yeah, they're
Right.
dysfunctional. They're not like, hey, yeah, we're all lovey-dovey. Like,
But he's also there to reconcile with his kids.
Yeah.
Mainly his son, who really has like.
Well, we talked about bad guys, right?
Yeah.
The obvious bad guy is the worst bad guy, right? I mean, it's the obvious bad guy is fun, you know, because you have to have a villain. You know, if you have somebody like Cronin that's smashing people's heads with a giant hammer in the first episode or the first Guardians of the Galaxy, you're like, he's evil. Yeah. He's evil. He needs to go.
Yeah.
Right. But the ones that are the most interesting, at least in my book, are the ones that are like troubled, like
who is your friend?
or like in Jessica Jones, like it's her mother, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute, she didn't want to be this way.
Yep.
She got engineered this way or fucked up this way, and she can't control herself. Like that makes this a layered experience that makes it really interesting to engage with. And so, yeah, the dad shouldn't be the '60s dad that's like,
Yeah, it's
hello,
cool.
Will. And,
Yeah.
and
You
I'm
know what
all-
else was cool about
yeah.
it? You're not going to get there. You guys aren't there yet. But I'm just going to tell you, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But they talk about Hawking radiation, like Steve
Oh,
Hawking.
Stephen Hawking's.
Yeah, Hawking radiation. I'm not going to tell you why they talk about it because it might spoil a little bit. But it's just cool to have a nod to him in that.
Yeah.
Like they actually named it after him.
That's cool.
It's really right after he passed. I don't know if that was played into it or they just kind of filmed it that way. But it was really well done.
Yeah.
It was a little nod to him.
That is cool.
The mom character is very interesting.
Yeah.
No, she's good. She's good.
I really like how, like, she's like, you know, like an engineer, scientist, whatever. And then, you know, like she had to like push along to get her son.
Yeah.
She made a deal with somebody.
Yeah. And
you don't know who yet.
Yeah, you don't know who yet. But it's just like, it is interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally.
And you know, she's like a by the book person, it seems, you know, and then.
Well, and she's, but there's everybody's got. I think the trope of the story, which is I really genuinely enjoy, is that everybody's. It's about family, right? Everybody has a shortcoming, but it's the compensation of or the support or the missing pieces. None of the puzzle pieces work together until they're connected. And
Yeah,
then
like
when-
they need the dad. Like he's like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? He's that piece that like they don't
Actually, I
think.
love the dad
Yeah,
character.
he's cool as
I
shit.
love it,
but
dude.
they don't think they need him, but
Mm-hmm.
they do.
yeah.
Actually, that's no. I think it's just a mom. The son is more.
No, the daughter Judy.
Yeah,
is
the one
really pissed
Judy
at him.
doesn't like him.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Judy doesn't like. The son's confused, and the other daughter likes him. I think it's more the mom because there's obvious reasons later that you'll find out. But
Yeah, she's like, you don't have to sign the divorce papers. We're leaving
Yeah.
the planet.
and then that's when he realizes. I think that he's like, dude, I got to be on this trip.
I screwed up.
You know, I
Yeah,
don't give a
something's
crap.
like- yeah.
They're going. And you know what? He's a Navy SEAL, so screw it, man. He can make the requirements if he wants. You know.
Yeah.
So
Dude, first episode, I was riveted. I mean, the daughter trapped in the ice,
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
inches from this hot surface.
and the ice froze
I was
so
like
fast.
losing my breath watching it, man. It
That
was-
freaked me out, dude. Imagine getting stuck like the ice froze so fast. It
Yeah.
was like within seconds, and they did it really well. Like
I
it got
totally
stuck.
agree.
You know.
The planet was interesting. It was kind of Lost like. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Before Lost got real
it,
wacky.
It gets more interesting. Trust me.
Yeah.
No, but the
plumes of magnesia.
Where did you guys end? Where did you guys? What's the last? What do you guys remember the last episode about the planet? What did they talk about?
The last thing I remember
The
is
storm.
well,
That's-
I remember the floating, looking like flying jellyfish, purple jellyfish with the aurora borealis looking.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's what I
Okay.
remember.
All right.
I remember that.
I don't want to go past.
No, I hear you. Yeah, but it's the one that I'm enjoying the most right now. I'm back in it with the Expanse. I think the Expanse is still great. Also, Counterpart.
You're watching that with Cindy, right?
Yeah.
Is she enjoying it?
She is enjoying it.
You can see her liking that because it's like a thinker.
Yeah, it's totally cool.
Yeah.
I just, I'm digging it. I think because I'm watching all these things simultaneously, and Lost in Space is delivering like whole episodes.
And it's you're in space and you're doing a hell of a job of recreating what we would think it would take in 20, 30, maybe 40 years to do something like this.
Man.
It's in your mind, it's achievable.
Oh yeah,
You know?
that's another thing. That's a good point he brings up. They use like some of our technology out in space, like the 3D printer.
Yes.
shit. I was like, damn, that is really well thought out.
Yeah.
You know what I
He
mean?
tried to print out a gun.
Yeah, and let him know it was cool.
Yeah, so I'm definitely digging that. The robot is captured my imagination more than anything on that show.
Ah, that's cool.
His voice is pitch perfect for me because it's like he's and I love how
He delivered that hokey line, and that was like awesome. And you're like,
Danger,
man.
Will Robert.
it
Yeah.
was chilling.
Yeah, it was cool.
So I thought that was really cool. I love how he's the mystery so far.
Yeah, the mystery could be enemy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not going to spoil much. He's the mystery through the whole thing.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, the robot is really the mystery through the whole thing. What happened? You know, you got to the point where they showed what happened on the main ship, right?
Yeah. Totally.
So you saw what happened, what the robot did.
Yeah.
Right?
I love how it's like this traditional tale, right? It's the mouse and the lion, right?
Yeah.
He takes the thorn out of the lion's paw, and next thing you know, he's indebted to him.
But it's cool. Later on, you find out how
More so because he saved his life.
integral the robot and why he was attacking that ship.
Yeah.
It's cool what you find out later. Not to spoil anything for you guys.
There's like just I think the pacing is really you're in it as far as the pacing is concerned.
Right. Now, my only thing was when I texted you guys, I liked it. Could have been a little bit better. I was not to get my point of view is the ending I felt could have been done a little bit better. It was done fine.
Yeah.
And I wasn't upset about it.
Was it just to draw you in for another season? Probably.
Well, no, they're drawing you in for another season. Obviously, Netflix, I'm sure, didn't invest this much money into something like this without planning a season 2.
I thought the first episode was better than the whole 90-minute movie.
Oh, they all were.
Yeah.
No, but you guys will like the ending. The ending's not bad. I just thought the ending could have been done a little bit better. Not unless they're going to explain it in season 2, which could be the case.
Yeah. But Nick, you turned us on to Counterpart, and Counterpart, I thought, just quick segue, because I thought if they had any other actor in it than J.K. Simmons, I probably would have lost interest.
Right, he did a phenomenal job. That's what kept me in.
Yeah,
when he was that
whole thing
badass
up.
guy, when he did the badass, like his counterpart. Hence, the counterpart comes from the other side. You were just like, dude, this guy's awesome.
Yeah,
They're
it's really cool.
the original guys, but then as you get to the end of it, you start learning more and more, and it gets cooler and cooler.
Mm-hmm.
I just really I'd say around 5. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I really got sucked in.
Oh, really? So I'm on the cusp.
I got sucked in. It's just because then you start seeing. Now, where you at now?
The violinist / assassin. They're those counterparts. Just had the exchange.
So the other one hasn't crossed over yet.
No, she's crossed over.
No. The other. Okay. Yeah.
So she got shot.
The other, J.K. What's his name?
J.K. Simmons
J.K. Simmons hasn't crossed over yet, has he?
crossed over to the other side.
Yeah.
No.
The homie one though.
The meek mild one.
He crosses over to
He goes to the other side.
It starts getting good there because then they start learning more and more about the other guy, and more and more backstory about both sides.
Oh, I'm totally in, man. I'm
not. I think Lost in Space probably is more up our alley, but this one is just one of those. I like spy kind of like thrillers.
Yeah,
kind of had a little twist to it with a sci-fi.
It's a little
edge.
bit on the period side.
Yeah. So, I mean, I wasn't sure if it was going to suit all of us, but I figured it was worth a
it's
try.
definitely a good ad for sure.
Yeah.
Expanse. I don't even think I finished the first episode of this next season. Not because I don't have a desire to. It's just I was literally nodding off trying to catch up.
Well, you're doing 3 shows at once.
Yeah.
When I did Counterpart, I binged straight through Counterpart. Then I had time to do. I had a couple of days, and then Lost in Space came out, and then we had an extended Tuesday, so I had literally nothing to do Friday night because my wife went to bed early, and I was watching my daughter all day Saturday, and she slept for like 4 hours, so I got through it all.
Oh, wow.
I was just sitting there, I was like, dude, this is awesome. And then my wife did nothing Saturday night but go to bed, so I finished it up Saturday.
15-minute window has now expanded.
I know. It was
It's a lot of beat off time.
I got that in there, don't worry about it.
I believe it.
I rubbed one out.
Yeah.
But that's how I finished that. And The Expanse, I already watched season 2 last year, so I only needed to watch 1 episode. But why don't we talk about the one I'm really interested in is Krypton. I'm actually digging it. I'm digging it.
I didn't
Dude.
mention Krypton.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm totally in it. And this whole Zod is the character, that family, that point counterpoint.
Really, that's intriguing you the most?
Well, I think there's
Zod's an interesting character.
Well, I take it back. Brainiac.
Brainiac's right now is really, especially this last episode with him getting into the leader, whatever the faceless.
The faceless leader.
The faceless leader, which we still haven't seen his face yet, but at the end you see him like dig into them, and you're like, "What the fuck, dude? We haven't even seen who this guy is yet, and he's already being controlled by Brainiac."
Yes.
So now you know how Brainiac. He doesn't come in and dominate worlds. He infiltrates. And he goes right for the leadership. You know, so
that's hardcore warfare, man.
Oh yeah, it's totally awesome. But you know, what I was telling you earlier is I still don't understand what the guy from Earth is doing there. They don't even need him.
Well, he
on the
lost
show.
that fucking hat, so hats off to that.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna dig that.
Oh, dude, he lost that hat. I was like, thank you.
But seriously, Jamie, what does he mean to the show so far?
Since he lost a hat, I'm taking him more seriously nowadays. I know that's pretty petty, but
he's been a little bit of comic relief. Even the bartender.
Well,
the bartender I get because he's there.
I think he's there. Like I think they're like slowly developing him, but my guess is that he's like a major piece on how Seg can defeat Brainiac. Like because I'm sure
there's more to it than that.
Yeah, there's more to him. They didn't just throw him in there. And
just
again,
to warn Superman
I don't understand
that he
what the
didn't
hell the Detroit. I don't mind the Detroit Tigers, but what the fuck were you doing with the hat?
You're going to an alien world wearing a fucking baseball hat.
You're wearing different clothes to start off. Why would you like wear that hat? That makes no sense. But whatever. Anyway,
you might as well go nude. It doesn't. What are you doing here,
dude? I know they sell Superman merchandise there. You know, you could have like done something with that. You know,
yeah.
But then he would have got killed. You know? Whatever.
Oh, by the way, how about his betrothed wife? She is like ridiculously hot, dude.
Blonde with the short
and she
hair.
like got naked in front of him. I'm like, I wish this was on HBO or some shit.
Yeah.
She's like smoking, dude.
Yeah. It is the CW everybody's attractive thing.
CW.
You know, it's like there's no ugly people in the CW universe.
No. Yeah, my wife was watching like what the fuck, Vampire Diaries, I think it's called.
Yeah,
I was like, this is lame. I was like, well, they're hot, so fuck it. You know,
why do you think Buffy lasted so long?
Hey, I said it to my yeah, exactly, and I said to my wife, I was like, you see how I don't really like this show, but I'm watching it. I was like, if they just did this with 50 Shades of Grey, throwing some like good looking people in there, I'm in. You know what I mean?
I can beat off to that later.
I don't want to see. And you're like,
We have a 13 episode callback. Well done, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Hats off.
No, but I to get back on point, it's just I think it's good. I think it's if you go into it thinking of like a CW type show, not thinking of like a Game of Thrones type show, you're going to be thrilled. You're going to be.
I dug
ecstatic.
Smallville.
I did. I like Smallville too.
I just wish he would have been Superman sooner.
I know, but the only thing I didn't like about Smallville is they
It's like Batman.
Well,
it's like Gotham.
But they CW'd it up. That's where I didn't like it. Like they did it like they like Dawson Creeked Smallville. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they made it like too like sweet
I
and
can't
like
cater.
Well, they
to
did the
that.
first
hey,
couple
let's
seasons.
all hold hands.
But I liked Smallville. I thought
liked
the
it. I
guy
still
that had
watch
played
it.
Lex Luthor was phenomenal. Actually,
Yeah,
in
he's
that
good.
show, I thought he was really he's better than the one they
I
had.
never gave
fucking,
it. Honestly, I never gave it a chance. I saw like a couple episodes and I was like, I'm out.
But Gotham. Speaking of which, I'm up to date on that.
Yeah.
It seems like it's getting a little bit better, but the only thing that's throwing me off is that damn League of Shadows shit. Like every time she pops in with the League of Shadows, like it's like some like
Does she have her entourage?
Look at my well now they're showing her what it means. You know, and like I'm like and she's like, you know, like show me. I'm like, all right, and then they move on to like other characters. The other characters aren't that bad. I like that Riddler. The guy who plays that Riddler is really
he's
good.
good.
I even like the Penguin guy. He's good too.
I like that he's a different take on the Penguin.
It's cool.
for sure. Chester Cobble.
I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, I haven't been watching it, but I did. I agree with
The
you, Jamie.
Joker's good too.
I like the
Is he?
Joker.
Yeah, no, he's good, dude.
Talking about the guy that already got killed.
Yeah, but they
They
like,
brought him back again.
but yeah, well, that's
Lazarus Pit?
All right,
Lazarus Pit?
Yeah, it's got the arrow effect. It does, and that's where my problem comes in with that show. Is like every character that dies, they bring them back.
Yeah, well, that's
and
the thing.
it's like, dude, you can't do that because like when you do that, you lose credibility. There's no suspense anymore.
Exactly.
There is no suspense. Like, oh yeah, okay, you're gonna kill off Fish Mooney and then bring her back 5 times, and I don't think she's gonna die.
Well, dude, and that was a key element
that's not
to
even-
Game of Thrones and to Walking Dead. Everybody's susceptible of getting axed.
Yeah, and you ain't coming back from it.
And if you invest in a well-written character, you're going to mourn the loss of that character.
Fuck yeah.
When what's his face died in Walking, I didn't want to say his name because he hasn't watched it yet. But when he got hit with the bat,
Oh my God!
I was devastated. I mean, granted, he's escaped death a lot of times.
he's got.
But
a lot
I
of
was
lives.
like, God damn it, man! I felt it. I felt it.
Yeah.
Or what's his face? Stark died in season 1 when everybody you thought the whole show was based around Ned Stark,
Totally.
and it wasn't.
yeah,
They're
it's-
like, okay, well, it's going to be a Robin Hood scene. Someone's going to shoot the axe out of the axeman's hand, and or to shoot the sword out of out of his hand, and it's going to be save the day. And it's like, oh my God, his head just fell off.
Sopranos when they kill Pussy.
Yeah,
That's another one. It's like what just happened?
yeah.
Can we go back?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's suspense. Yes.
These producers, these executive producers, these makers of these shows realize today people want, I don't even know if it's realism to a degree. Real life, not all the time, the hero wins.
Yes.
So you got to do what you got to do, and then somebody will take the mantle and move on. And the shock factor is also huge in shows nowadays. You got to shock the audience to thinking that anything's possible in these shows. Because if you keep going to the way the shows used to do, nobody cares about shows that were done in the 80s.
Formulaic.
Yeah,
is
formulaic.
predictable.
Exactly. It's boring.
Yeah, it is.
They want something new, something exciting. We always talk about this.
Yeah, story.
Well-written storylines. And in shows nowadays, you got to shock the shit out of
But
it.
is that specific to a genre?
What do you mean?
Meaning, can you do that with a sitcom?
What?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think you could with a sitcom. Now,
I think they did do it. I think they did it with Cheers. I think they did it with MASH. I think they did it.
Taxi, dude.
What do you
Taxi,
mean?
Meaning it wasn't formulaic as in these are the beats.
Yeah, and
hit
that's
the
why
Oh,
they-
beats.
so when MASH went serious?
But that's why the
Well, they go serious, but then they'd be really funny. The same thing with like Cheers. Cheers would be like, just the way that they delivered. That's why I never got fully invested into the later seasons of the Big Bang Theory. And I'm going to segue like a mofo. There.
Mark Hamill's going to be on.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it. I know it. Yeah, I saw that.
But,
No,
but
you're
the
right.
Big Bang Theory is, to me, in the later episodes, it was Sheldon, beep, beep, jokey joke, beep, beep, jokey joke. And I talked about this before.
No, you're right.
But
you're
it's
right.
very formulaic, and I think good comedy, and I think that being able to shift and surprise your audience, whether it's a subtle joke or whether it's a dramatic plot twist, they're all elements that make for good entertainment.
Did you ever notice though with the Chuck Lorre stuff? Speaking of Big Bang Theory, like 2.5 Men, like the guy's made he's like the Tyler Perry of that type of shit.
Yeah.
I know. He's done fat.
But
2.5 Men were one of
if you
one of my
ever
favorite
watched
shows.
his shows, what he does is like, so like Big Bang Theory, I would say the first 4 seasons you get really sucked in, right? And then they find that niche and then they just play off that niche.
No.
Did that with 2.5 Men. Same thing.
Yes, I agree.
And then
Where he was a
oth-
womanizing pig.
every
and all
other,
that.
but they like think about it, 2.5 Men. You watch it like same thing, 4 seasons, 5 seasons, maybe. You're sucked in, and then they do that your formulaic thing, like bang bang, jokey joke, like
It's like, okay, put your stopwatch on. We are 20 seconds in. Enter wacky neighbor. All right, now we're 80 seconds in. Enter joke about somebody's mother.
But
It's like that stuff makes for people, and maybe that's the pacifications of people's
that's
ability to appreciate diverse entertainment. But
Well, Chuck Lorre's thing though is like that guy's smart in the fact that but he's really smart in the fact that he like develops the characters and then like he's done. Then he moves on to writing another show and he probably has somebody doing the rest. You know what I mean?
showrunners that
Yep.
just have it down to a system.
Yep.
There's the doggies.
That means time's up.
Time's up.
So what are highlights? I mean, we're watching a lot of entertaining stuff. I think we touched on the stuff that is really hot for us this week. Anything that we might have missed?
Nah, man. I think I
Still
covered-
watching Roseanne.
Still watching Roseanne.
It's good, dude. It's good.
I can't bring myself to do it.
I like it, man. I'm telling you right now, I really like. I gotta look up the writers. I meant to do that. I gotta look up the writers. The writing is
Whitney
really
Cummings
good.
is a writer, right?
Whitney Cummings is a writer, but there's a bunch of other comics. Norm Macdonald's one.
The
No
ratings.
shit.
The ratings are through
Dude,
the roof.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
That too. Those two writers alone
they
are 1-2
kept.
punch.
There's more like top guys and women, but they did a really good job, and they're bringing back what's his name
Speaking of
tonight.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, they're bringing back him,
David.
David. Damn it! I
What,
can't-
he's coming in the show?
Yeah.
Yes, he's coming back in this.
What, is he the father of the kid?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. But and like I saw the preview for it, and I was like, man, that's awesome because
Because he makes $1 million an episode on Big Bang now.
Good for him, man. I mean, he might as well get a piece of that action.
But it's good.
It's not making as much as the show creators or the producers.
That one, yeah, I'll give him that one reboot that has like a good story, good like good comedy and stuff. They play into.
What other new shows, old shows, they're going to reboot now that Roseanne's kicked off? You know they're going to start digging into that.
No,
well.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I
Probably.
wouldn't be a bit surprised. Well, not Cheers, but
Well, and
Cheers
this is going to be a
too
tasteless joke. They're not going to bring back Night Court.
hard. Yeah, this is
God,
tasty
that
too.
show was good.
But you know he died today.
I know he did, but
Yeah.
that show.
I love
No.
Night Court.
It was awesome.
Bull,
Thursday night lineup was
oh,
awesome.
dude, it was one of my favorite shows.
Night Court was
Yeah.
legit, dude. That show was hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. That show was like, I think it was underrated, man.
I agree with
The
you. I watched it
comedy
all
in
the
that
time.
show was
Then they used
awesome.
to do like 11 o'clock at night. Remember, I think one of the TV shows before used to be on like the reruns at 7
Yes.
and 11. I used to watch that shit all the time.
Yeah. And he
It's great.
started out in Cheers as Harry the Hat.
He did. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Anyway, it was, a moment of silence for Harry Anderson. All right. He's doing card tricks in heaven now. We did talk about Mark Hamill and Kathy Bates going on the season finale of The Big Bang Theory. One last thing. They have a director for the Harley Quinn movie.
Oh, she's gonna have a solo movie.
Well, it's
They
their.
have to. Margot Robbie.
I
too.
think it's going
I'm
to
in.
be like a
Fucking A, dude.
Sirens.
You don't even need to explain. I'm in.
Yeah, I think. But
that story. There I'm a lemming. That story can suck, and you have my money. I'm there.
Again, she's hot, right?
Yeah,
50
Yeah.
Shades of Grey. Put her in that situation.
Exactly.
Yo, did you ever see how much she looks like? What's her celebrity? She has her own celebrity doppelganger.
Who's that?
It's the girl from Joe Dirt, who was his sister, but not his sister.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does.
They were hot. She
Yeah.
was hot.
Yeah, but yeah.
I'm
so
your sister. I'm your sister.
yeah. But yeah. So they have a director for it, Kathy Yan. Not deep and doesn't has really much street cred when it comes to doing big superhero movies, but it looks like that movie's going to come to fruition. Still worried about the DC universe. You know, I'm not.
They're all over the place. That's why.
Not if they're going to Spielberg it up. Maybe it'll get sucked.
But even with Spielberg, say Spielberg does a good job on this movie. It's like Wonder Woman all over again. Wonder Woman was a great job, but they're still all over the freaking map.
But-
there's no
like we
direction.
But like we spoke about earlier too.
Yeah.
Well, before when we spoke about and that article I sent you about like Frank Miller reiterating the fact of what we were talking about.
Was it Frank Miller or Mark Millar?
I got fact check.
No worries. Either way.
Whatever. One of you two.
Somebody respected in the comic book industry.
Somebody respected, but they spoke of the characters, like the different state of
Dude. Yeah.
Mark Millar.
You hit it right on the head.
It was Mark Millar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. What you have to work with. The only dynamic one would be Batman. You know what I mean?
Because
Green Lantern's not dynamic.
Yeah,
dude.
but that's what back to what I was telling before episodes. They should have worked on the B superheroes in their universe and build it up to
You're right.
Batman and Superman.
No, but Nick, I think you said it best when you were like, Marvel invests in the backstories, in the secret identities, and who the people are, not in the powers.
yeah, and where DC invests in the powers,
Yeah.
except for Batman.
Except for
Which, because he
Batman.
doesn't have any powers. He just has money. He's a billionaire.
Yeah.
Which is a good
That's
line.
a superpower.
That's a
right?
good line. That was a good line.
That was
genius.
phew. What is your superpower? I'm rich.
So we had a good run here. I think we covered all our bases. So thank you, everybody, for joining us for this week's episode of the Nick, John, and Jamie Show. Again, please be sure to subscribe to our show on iTunes and Google Play. And if you're digging the show, leave us a 5-star review. 5-star would be nice. We'll take a 4, but a 5 would be better. You can also follow us on Twitter at NJJ Show, Instagram at NJJ Show, or if Facebook is your poison, search the Nick, John, and Jamie Show and follow our page. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us, and have a great week.